We are Pro Cannabis Media.
Welcome back to We Talk, and we want to welcome in a very special guest, someone who really and truly has become a friend over the last couple of months. I met him here in Quincy for the first time, right across the street at a Cannapreneur event, and Perry Antelman, the CEO of Abacus and CBD Medic in studio. And Perry, thank you so much for coming in tonight. I appreciate it. I know you're just coming off a very long couple of days.
Thanks for having me, Jimmy, tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, tell us what's going on with Abacus and CBD Medic. And did we see the Gronk and Perry show at the conference? Is that what's going on or what?
There was a little bit of that at the show, at the Cowan Conference, which was for 2 days. And actually Tuesday, Gronk took the stage with a fire chat side, which was really great. He was fantastic. He was actually spectacular. It was about a 25-minute fire chat, and it was just great, back and forth. He finished the talk with throwing footballs into the,
Was it Abacus footballs or CBD Medic footballs, or were they Wilson and Spalding or something?
Yeah, actually they were Cowan footballs.
Oh, Cowan footballs. Well, it was their conference, right?
It was.
All right, so that's okay. We can let them get away with that. Perry, what a little bit more about your company. Tell me a little bit about it, because for those who don't know, it's traded on the Canadian stock market, Abacus, right?
That's correct, yes.
And it is available in many CVSs, not New England, but many CVSs. And now, did you not sign another group?
We did. We can't publicize who that is, but it is another major retail pharmacy chain.
Very good. It's a good thing I didn't say it then.
I don't think I told you.
I was there that day. I just remember. Let's just say. Anyway, so talk a little bit about how this product came about and what is so special about it, and why Rob Gronkowski, who is one of the more beat-up NFL greats of all time, certainly perhaps one of the greatest tight ends, if not the greatest tight end in football of all time, used the product and loved it. How did tell the story again? I know the story, but tell the story again.
Let me frame this for all the Boston sports fans who listen to the sports stations. Every time there's a Gronk story about him coming back, and whether it's Felger or someone on EEI says, yeah, he's doing that CBD thing, I don't think he's coming back. That's your CBD. Right here, CBD guy he's working with. So now go ahead. This is the guy.
That does set it up nicely.
He's keeping Gronk away from the Patriots. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to make it alive home.
Right, exactly. But how did it all start?
Okay, so, well, first of all, I founded a dermatological pharmaceutical company 15 years ago. And it's a company deeply rooted in science and R&D. So our company grew over the years. We are a manufacturer of over-the-counter topical products like antifungal products, antiviral products, antimicrobial products. So that company continued to grow, and it has a full FDA registered and audited manufacturing facility as well. It was 5 years ago. We wanted to know what it was about cannabis that was giving people pain relief. So we tapped our network of scientists, chemists, formulators, and we said, tell us about this. They said, oh, well, you know what, if you can, there's a cannabinoid called cannabidiol, and if it can be absorbed into the top layers of the skin, it could connect with primary receptors that can help with inflammation as well as signaling of pain back to the brain. So we were really intrigued. We said, well, that is something, first of all, we did not have. We had all the formulations we had until that time were for infections of the skin. We had nothing for neuropathy, nothing for pain relief. So we already had some fantastic technology. We said, you know what, let's take that technology, let's formulate a new formulation with CBD. Let's put everything in there that we could think that would be good. So we started with our base, which was quickly absorbent into the skin. We added camphor and menthol, which are known active pharmaceutical ingredients for, analgesics for pain. As you know, camphor and menthol, we all know how well those work. They do work 20 to 40 minutes. Then we added additional strong essential oils that also help with pain relief. And then we added the CBD. So this was like a 4-part technology. Put it all together, tested it into the healthcare practitioner space for about 6 months, and the feedback was nothing short of phenomenal. Take it 3 years forward, we are sold in well over 13,000 healthcare practitioners' offices throughout the United States. And how does the story move along? An acquaintance of ours, actually of mine, also happens to be an acquaintance of Rob's dad, Gordy Sr., and he ends up, he used our, so the acquaintance of ours used our product. He had back pain. He's friendly with Gordy, going back 12, 15 years. Says, hey, Gordy, you got to try this for your hip. He sends some to him. He calls him back and says, this stuff is amazing. He goes, wow, I love this. Few weeks go by. Gordy sends it to Rob, right here in Foxborough. And it's hanging around his house for a few weeks. Rob's in his backyard one afternoon playing soccer, bangs his toes, 3 middle toes. They turn black and blue. He's telling his dad about it. Dad, I got this pain in my toes. He's like, did you try that stuff? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you sent me that stuff. He takes the tube. Now, Rob is all about everything natural. I mean, he is a natural beast.
Yes.
Everything he eats, everything he drinks, he's all natural. He just lives natural and fitness. So first thing he does, he looks at that, he goes, well, I'm not going to put anything on me if I can't read the ingredients and I don't understand what's in there. Sure enough, he says, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. Oh, these are all natural ingredients. I love this. He puts it on his toes, and the rest is history. 5 hours of pain relief. He calls up his dad. This stuff is amazing. He then takes the tube and starts smearing it all over his body.
It's about right.
Yeah.
Not shocking.
He didn't have help doing that. I'm just saying, but that's good. That's a great story, and I love it. By the way, I would have loved to have been in the backyard kicking the soccer ball around with Gronk that day. I just want to say, because I just can't imagine somebody that big playing soccer unless you're in goal. Just saying.
Yeah. But you mentioned 3 years ago. You want to hear a personal story as well? 3 years ago, Cannabis.net met these guys. I think it was your New York show at the Javits Center, and they were doing a crowdfunding at the time. And we said, I'll try some. On the shoulder, I'm not getting paid for this plug. We ended up doing a story helping with the crowdfunding campaign. And whenever anyone asked me in the last 3 years, hey, you have a lot of products in your store. Like, what do you like? The CBD, I don't know if you still do it this way, level 5, or you do the super active is like the highest one.
Sure,
literally,
right.
It is the CBD Medic, this guy's cream, that I've been using for 3 years for soreness without knowing Gronk, without knowing Perry. I have been telling people, check this article on our site. It's the best stuff I've ever used because it had menthol. And you said camphor.
Menthol
and literally, when it gets with the CBD, I'm not a scientist, as our guests like to say, it works. I get paid nothing for this, but I've been known about these guys and told people for 3 years before Gronk. So
and Perry, and in Jamaica, you told me the real reason why Rob Gronkowski is not coming back to the Patriots this year. You want to explain that one again, or?
Well, first of all, he is in a great place.
Yeah.
Okay, and he is a great businessman, and I'm learning things from him. He's sharp. He's smart. He really has his act together, and he is moving at the lightest speed. Really,
speed of light.
Sorry, speed of light.
That's okay. I got you. I knew what you were doing. I got you.
He's moving at the speed of light, and so he's in a great place. We all know. We all heard it. The press conference. We know that he started to lose his love for football, and he said, "Okay, time for me to take a break." Now, whether he comes back or not, of course, nobody knows. It's totally up to him. But I can tell you one thing, is he wants to keep his options open.
Right.
And he is now endorsing, right? He's actually advocating for CBD.
Right.
He's endorsing a CBD company, CBD Medic.
Yeah.
And the rules in, the NFL, which are,
archaic.
Rules from, okay, they are right from before, the end of the era, right, of cannabis legalization. And according to the rules, the way that they are now, he is banned from coming back because he is sponsoring, he is a spokesperson for, and he's advocating for CBD.
That's right. And is a hero amongst his peers because the players don't want to be on opioids and other things that are harmful to them. They'd like to use as many natural products as possible to get themselves ready week in and week out for what is basically human warfare on a football field. Still the nicest, greatest, biggest sport in America. I believe that they still have the most watched television programs every year are always NFL football games. I believe it's something like 83 out of 100 of the top-rated television shows are all NFL football games.
Wow.
That tells you nobody's making appointments to view anything anymore. And that's why we do this, and then we put it on demand, and we cut it up, and then we spread it out so everybody can watch it whenever the hell they want, or listen to it and not have to look at us. But that's another story. What are you doing with the craft group? Because I know that came out too. I'm guessing you have a little bit of an inside there, just because Mr. Gronkowski knows Mr. Kraft pretty well.
Well, after the announcement of our partnership, they approached us. Kraft Sports approached us. They said, you have just signed and you have partnered with what we consider one of the most iconic players in football, as well as in the Patriots. You're dealing with a historic tight end. We want to partner with you because you've partnered with Gronk. And we love what you're doing. They said we like what you're advocating, as well as the press conference that we had from Gillette Stadium. We had Murray there, right, who introduced us, and it was about supporting the advocacy for CBD, which is fantastic. And look, it's not a matter of if, right? It's a matter of when.
Right.
But this Gillette and Kraft partnership is really important. For one, it's another piece of the puzzle. We love the fact, I don't know if you know this, but on the side of the stadium, where there's now a 30-foot, I think 35-foot by 25-foot large poster with Gronk, with a football in his hands and with CBD Medic right there. There's also the iconic water tower that looks the Gillette Stadium and Patriots Place. And we will have soon the CBD Medic with our hemp/cannabis leaf on the water tower. So that is quite a move of support for CBD advocacy.
Yeah, pinch me, I'm dreaming. It's Massachusetts, and they're the 6-time Super Bowl champs. I don't know which is more bizarre. The fact that the Patriots, I live to see them win 6 Super Bowl championships, or the fact that cannabis is now legal in our home state. Am I dreaming?
Where can people get it? What does a Massachusetts resident need to do to get, whether it's in a physical location or your website? What can they do?
Actually, so there are several physical locations. If they go to our website, which is cbdmedic.com, there is a store finder there. Bed Bath & Beyond carries it throughout the state, which is fantastic. Yeah. And if they don't want to get in their car and go pick it up, they can buy it online. Just as easy. Now, if you go to the Patriots game, you go to Pat's game, we have 2 activation sites there where we are handing out free samples, and we can hand out up to 60,000, samples to all the fans coming to a decision
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
But Jimmy brought it up. You're in CVS's outside New England. Why not New England? What's the holdup, or what was there a decision by the FDA, or when's that coming?
No, it is not FDA related. Look, CVS, they're the first adopters of a retail pharmacy chain that brought it into the United States, on any large scale. And I think actually they're really smart they went about it. Because the strategy, if you actually look at what stores and what states they put it in, they did somewhat of a cross-section. They said, look, here is a product that is in high demand by the public. There are regulatory hurdles in the different states. There's also still a stigma connected to it. Let's roll it out slowly. Let's do like a stage 1 test kind of a rollout. And let's put it in not all liberal states. Let's not put it all in all conservative states. Let's take a slice of red and blue states. And also some of those states, some of those have medicinal cannabis. Some of them are recreational cannabis. They're in Colorado, but they also chose Kentucky. They chose California. They also chose Maryland. And they're like, let's do a cross-section, and let's see how it sells in our stores. And we can learn a lot, and that is what they're doing. They've learned a lot. They're learning a lot from it. They launched that around April, and now they're taking their second stage and saying, okay, we see how this has sold. We see the sell-through rates. Now let's add additional states. So that is why it's not in all states. It's not in Massachusetts yet. It will be. Just give it time.
What this next rollout? Are we talking you're going to be in 5 more? Are we going to be in 30? Do you have any idea, or have they told you?
As many as possible?
As far as states are concerned?
Yeah.
So we actually can't talk too much about that.
Okay, I was going to say maybe you can't for earnings
I'm
and
so glad
too.
Curt asked you that, because I knew the answer, and I'm like, well, you
Jimmy,
can
they're
ask
publicly traded. We can't talk about what's going to happen.
That's right. How difficult is it? Is it difficult for you to bite your tongue and not tell the whole story?
I hate it. No question.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Usually you get a product in, you get a technology in the major retail pharmacy chains, in Food, Drug, and Mass. You can talk about it, press releases.
You tell the world. You want everybody to know, right?
It's not the same with CBD. And but again, look, the end of an era of prohibition. But let's look back into the 1930s, right? And it's, I'm sure it's never been easy. It's not smooth sailing. There's choppy waters ahead of us. Again, there's regulatory uncertainty. So especially especially retail pharmacy chains, which are generally conservative, right? They're taking their time and they're making sure everything is, copacetic, and it's all going to be working out okay. They want to make sure that it's, let it out easy.
And yet I hear Rob, he's trained so well. First words out of his mouth, it won't get you high. It just gets rid of your pain. He makes it very clear, very direct. And, obviously we're a Pro Cannabis Media Network. I know that. But the public you're still fighting a stigma, Perry, aren't you?
There's no question. In fact, at the Gillette press conference, we appealed to the media. We said, help us out. It is really.
How'd that work out, by the way?
Really well.
Okay, good.
Really well.
They like you, by the way.
Was okay with
the media. The media is good. The media likes you too.
It worked out really well. They got it, and you read all the stories, and they really made a point of it. Think about it, because if you start calling us a pot company, a marijuana company, which one of the newspapers did do, and then they corrected it, by the way, afterwards. You're doing
hang on a second. There's only one newspaper in Boston. You said newspapers.
I'm not going to say who that is.
Okay, all right,
you can find it on your own.
Just saying that. Right. Fill in the blanks.
Yeah, but they corrected it without us having to ask them to.
Good.
Yeah. That was great. It's if somebody is afraid of it because they think that CBD is marijuana, if they think that CBD has THC in it, and they're scared of that, they're not going to be using this product. And this product could help them.
Right.
So we said, you will be hurting the public. You'll be hurting the consumer if you continue to mislabel who we are and what we do. And education is a key part of this. We have got to get the word out. CBD is not THC. It is non-psychoactive. THC is psychoactive. There's a difference between the industrial hemp plant and the marijuana plant.
Yes, there is. And let me, I'm not going to correct you, but I'm going to enlighten you. When I said that exact same word, psychoactive, to Mr. Hemp, John Dvorak, around in Massachusetts, and he corrected me. He says, it is psychoactive, it just doesn't get you intoxicated. And that is a difference.
I got to be honest, that is correct.
And do you know John?
It is. Yeah, I don't, but it is. He is correct. It is non-intoxicating. This is true.
Yeah.
But it is non-psychoactive. It comes down to actually the amount, right? Because everything can be toxic, right? If you drink too much water, you will die.
Right.
So water can be actually intoxicating at certain levels. Anything, right? Too much of anything can hurt you.
Right.
So it has to be taken within reason.
Right.
At the levels, first of all, on a topical product, okay, that doesn't even go into your bloodstream, that just helps you with pain relief. It's non-psychoactive, okay?
I gotcha.
Now,
even
of course,
Rob rubbing it all over himself.
I know, I've got a bad visual. I got a bad
rubbed it all over
I got an awful visual.
Bucket high.
What's going on? Whoa, she wiped out the microphone.
Poor Rob. He's not poor.
I don't think he's poor.
No.
And you, of course, cannot tell us any of the intricacies of the agreement that you have with Mr. Gronkowski. You can't enlighten us at all as far as, because you're a public company, I'm guessing, too. How much you paying him, Perry?
Actually, so first of all, he's a partner in our business now.
I knew that.
Okay.
I knew that even before you told me.
And whatever is public is online. You can look it up.
There you go.
And that's all you get.
And another reason, and that's all you get. And that's another reason why you probably won't see him in a Patriots uniform this year. But who knows about next year? And keep in mind that is also a collective bargaining year in the National Football League. And I am on record of saying if these players don't do a work stoppage, even for a day, they deserve full-time, lifetime health benefits for entertaining me and my fellow football fans my whole life. The fact that they don't have lifetime health benefits freaks me out. And, of course, you want to get into the guaranteed and non-guaranteed contract thing. This bothers me as a fan. It bothers me as a human. I know it's a business. The NFL's a big business. They make a ton of money. I even think they could probably get volunteer doctors to give lifetime health care to some of these players because they worship them. They love them. They love the football players. But I go off because that's what I do. Perry, what's next for your company? What, are you at another conference? I mean, I didn't even know about the Cowan thing until I read it today. And I said, oh, we missed that one, you know. What's next for you guys?
Okay, so we're very fortunate. We had hoped, we planned, we strategized to be, the first topical, CBD infused company in the United States. We're very fortunate to have that positioning. We do have 13 SKUs in 4 different locations in CVS. We have 14 SKUs in Bed Bath & Beyond. We are currently in north of 4,500 stores. And what's indicative of those stores is those are, as I said, all just initial rollouts. So they are actually indicative of about 25,000 retail pharmacy chains. That is more than about a third of the retail pharmacy chains in the United States. That is one of our channels. Our goal, just to be clear, is to be able to have our formulation, CBD Medic, used by hundreds of millions of people around the world to help them with suffering. The way to do that is accessibility, availability, getting distributed at as many locations as possible. So we are in the retail pharmacy chain now, in the food, drug, and mass. We'll continue to distribute in that and add more stores quarter to quarter, as well as we are in the healthcare practitioner space as well. We are also going into the convenience store space, and there's about 150,000 convenience stores throughout the United States. Those are your gas stations, your 7-Elevens, your Wawas, etc. Yeah. And as well, we also have our online, our web store, and then we are launching our Gronk line.
Oh, is that newsworthy? Did we just break something? What's the Gronk line going to look like?
The Gronk line is going to be all about Gronk. It's about his lifestyle, about who he is, what he loves, what he believes in. It's about his natural style,
right.
His lifestyle. So it's going to. So we have the Gronk line as well, and then we also have online. We're also going on Amazon to offer our products. So we're hitting it in all the cylinders to make sure it is readily available. We're even going into some international countries as well for approval, regulatory approval.
And of course, Israel, very close to both of our hearts. There's definitely some action.
It's close to my heart too.
Okay, that's good. I appreciate that. Well, were you bar mitzvahed, Curt?
No,
Let me just cut to the chase. Were you bar mitzvahed,
I was
Curt?
not, but it tells me it's not close to my heart. I feel a little left out at this point. Secret handshake here.
Really?
I have something else. I'm editing myself right now. I just want you to know I am not going to say what's going through my mind. That being said, I do want to get back to a serious subject, which is what's going on in Israel right now. You have some property and a business in Israel? Do I remember you telling me that?
We do have a branch in Israel. We actually have 35 employees, part of Abacus Health Products out in Israel. And they do digital marketing. We also are out in Israel because Israel, and maybe people don't know this, is the leader of research and development in cannabis in the world.
Right.
Dr. Professor Meshulam, 1957, which holds credit for identifying the Delta 9 THC, molecule and structure, also has spent most of his life with cannabinoids and testing cannabinoids with different receptors. So they are not 5 years, not 10 years, but over 60 years in research on cannabis. And so we work with institutions there. We work with Technion. We work with Bar Ilan University. We work with Hebrew University. And they are the leaders. So we love to keep our hands on the pulse of the newest technology coming out there because we want to be able to offer that to the consumers.
Right. Are you concerned what the FDA may do with CBD? I mean, it probably is going to affect the lotions and stuff, right? The topicals. But are you concerned about what they may do as far as a limitation or regulation at all?
Well, and you might not like this answer, Jimmy.
That's okay.
I'll move over. Jimmy gets mad.
He knows me. I guess he's starting to get to know me.
Mad Grandpa, look out, Mad Grandpa.
Don't know how sensitive I am. I'm a sensitive guy.
We were in Jamaica together,
yes,
Jimmy.
we were. And by the way, just for the record, wait a second.
Oh, no.
He was this high strung down there, too.
No.
Hey, who?
I have the lighter. Perry bought me a lighter. Let's just say it, because I didn't have the right change or whatever. Anyway, thank you. So, yes, I can.
Look, the FDA, they care about consumer safety, and it is really important to guard that, because if you don't, you can have bad things happen, honestly. And it's no different in the cannabis space, and has been no different in the CBD space. We know it's called the green rush, and there are over 2,000 companies that have entered the CBD market in the last 18 months. That's a phenomenal number. Oof. And a lot of them are saying, well, I'll just buy it from anywhere. Maybe I'll buy it from a foreign country. Maybe I'll buy it from China. Maybe I'll buy it from this place. Okay. And they might have heavy metals okay, trace metals, heavy metals in their oils, and they're not even testing it. They're just putting it in a bottle and they're selling it online, and someone can get hurt.
Right.
So a certain amount of regulation is important because it's going to keep the consumer safe. So the question is, and it is an important question as far as what we think the FDA is going to do next. And I spent a lot of time with CEOs of other companies as well as lobbyists around the country. And one of a couple things are going to happen. Nobody really knows when. It's not probably a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. We don't know if it's 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. But they're
3 years is what I've heard is within 3 years. And I'm like, oh, my God. Yeah, go ahead.
But within. So
okay, within. All right. It could be a week, right.
Well, not a week.
I know that.
But look, the World Health Organization has come out with a statement that 600 milligrams of CBD a day is safe. That's the safe limit. That's a lot, number one. We're expecting that the FDA, when they feel confident that they know of a maximum safe level, they'll say to the public, we're confident with X amount of milligrams per day. Let's just take a number, 200 milligrams a day. And they're probably going to say, okay, that's the number. We're going to use that as a placeholder. We might change it. We might allow it to go higher. We might need to bring it down in the future based on clinical trials that are coming in. And that's most likely what we'll see. And that's when you're going to see the Ben & Jerry's that have announced, have you seen that?
Yes, of course I have.
The Ben & Jerry's CBD, the Coca-Cola, and all the beers, and everyone's going to go wild. Oh, we can have it in food up to 200 milligrams a day. Yeah. That's the type of thing you're going to see. As far as as a topical product, we actually follow. There's a guideline as far as how to have a topical product infuse what is called inactive ingredients. I'm sure you've bought products off the shelf of a CVS or Walgreens, and it says enriched with vitamin E oil.
Yeah.
This is the same thing. These are infused. They are enriched with CBD oil. So there is a pathway. Topicals probably won't be in the messaging, my guess, with the FDA. It's really about consumer safety. There is really no safety risk with a topical. If there would be any, it's extremely low. Right. We have no adverse reported effects at all.
That's great.
And we're over 5 years with our topical products. None.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be when the FDA comes out and what that number is going to be.
Hey, Perry Antelman, thank you so much for making the appearance in studio.
Thank you so
I
much for
appreciate
having
it.
me, Jimmy.
Great to see you again. We're going to have another half hour. We got some really good interviews coming up, so don't go away. More of We Talk Live with Curt and Jimmy coming up.
We are Pro Cannabis Media.